Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks. Somebody sent me this file and it's got some cross lines, and this is what he eventually wants. He wants me to cut out on some sort of plotter cutter, kind of like a vinyl cutter. And I want to apologize to him. I was a little bit possibly, I didn't understand because most people wouldn't want to, if you were going to, anyway, I'm always thinking of engraving. And there's several ways. But what the problem is that when he cuts some lines away, well, that one happened to work. But let's cut this one and see what it did. It cut that away. Well, what the problem is, they're double line. Well, first of all, I can't get some of the lines to turn into a true hairline. Let me see if I can remedy that. Let me, because these are, you can see are a thin hairline, and that's what we need to do to kind of figure this out. So let's go to arrange, group, and ungroup all. See, it says it's a hairline. This is what I don't understand. But if you look at it closer, the lines are thicker, but they say they're hairline. But what the problem is, well, you know what? Let's just do this. Let's make a hairline out of this one. And let's left click, right click, and make it a hairline. See, he draws in points. But what the problem is, why is that thicker still? There's my thinner one. The problem is the lines aren't touching. Well, they look like they are on that one. See right there, there's just a double line. So there's two ways to fix this. One of them would be to take it and just move it down minutely and have it touch that line. Now this is going to be a little bit painful because you're going to have to do it to all of them, all that don't cut. I don't think we're going to mess up the drawing, but watch what happens now when I take virtual segment delete key. It actually deletes that line without deleting the rest of them. So this is the end result. So, and it's so hard to, and maybe that was why he couldn't see it, is that you can't, I don't know why I can't turn that line into a hairline. Maybe because he draws in something, you always have to get the pick tool. See, he draws in 5 point, let's make it black again. And let's move that over. Whoop. Well, I still got the other line there. And that's probably the problem. There are double lines or double boxes. So now if we look, see the bottom is dead on, but the top's not. That's got to be dead on. So I'm going to do this one more way. And this, my way right now is probably the best way. See, we're just a little bit off, so it's going to, and you want it in the kind of same configuration. But then when we take the virtual segment delete key, it'll delete those lines without deleting the rest of the stuff. Now, the other way to do it, and I still don't understand why I can't get that line to be thinner. Well, you know what? Let me try just moving out of the way. Let's go, that's just a curve. So that didn't really help. Let's take the Smart Fill tool, fill that in. I'm going to get it out of the way. I'm going to left click, right click. You've got to get away from your tool and then change that back to a hairline. And see, we still got that thick line. I'm a little bit confused myself. There's the thin line. So you're going to have to do this every time. Now the other way to do it, let's find out what's not touching. That's touching. And you're only going to have to do this like this one's working. This one would have worked without it. Let's find one that's not. See it? Well, I actually hit the wrong mark. Maybe it's not touching. Yep. So it's not touching on that corner. It's just minute. Now, the other way to do it would be to take your shape tool and select that and right click and break it apart. And then you could cut that line, but you're still gonna have to take the shape tool and bring it into there. And then we should be able to cut this line. And I'm sorry, I don't know of a better way, actually to do it. So once you've got all these done, let's see what happens there. See it? That's so short that it's going to erase everything. And here again, I can't figure out why that says that's a hairline, but it's not a hairline. Let's go to range. That isn't going to help us. So you're going to have to do the same thing on every one of them. Take your Smart Fill tool, fill that in, left click, right click, turn that into a hairline. And then see, we've still got that line. So then you could just delete this one, move this back, and then this should, yep, see, it's just a little bit short. So I think this is the best way, just to go ahead and just put it up there. Now, most of the time you're going to be able to tell which is what. So there you have it. Now, I don't know, there's a node there. So you just have to do that several times. See, there's another case of that. So let's take the Smart Fill tool, fill that in, move it over, left click, no fill, right click, outline. You've got to click off of it to get your hairline setting, and then just delete that line, put this one back, zoom in, because it's going to be short. Whoever drew this, drew it, he didn't draw it at first. That was one of the confusing things. I thought he had drawn it. I wanted him to send me just the skeleton and not the color. Because most time you wouldn't want this. You would want over and under type deal, kind of like, well, this one's all fixed. But anyway, I hope that solves the problem, because after he's done with all the lines, you can do that right there. And see, that one right there is going to leak. So we can tell that it is, you're going to have to do the same thing. Smart Fill, nudge out of the way like 3 times. Left click, right click, click off of it, get your hairline. Now I've forgotten which one it is, but we can nudge over. So there it is. So we need to do, what it is, these are made up of boxes. They're not continuous lines. They made them of boxes. Each one, not each one of them, because they're all a little bit different. And then okay, I did not move it over, move it up. See that minute, and I'm zoomed in big time. Now, I have noticed when I did the first time that it's one side isn't touching. So let's try this. And there you go. Anyway, a little bit labor intense to do all that. But then once you get it done, I would take the Smart Fill tool and fill that in. And then if you're going to cut it, left click, right click, and I'm sure you need a hairline. And then that'll cut out and it'll all be one piece. Anyway, I'll finally hope that helped him, and thank you for watching.